So since I ended up getting a pair of the Jordan 1 Low Mochas, I wanted to do a comparison video. This is just a quick comparison because there's not too many differences, but I think it's also quite nice to sort of see side by side and whether you need to go for the lows or just sort of stick with the highs that you've got. It's one of those ones where I think the box presentation is giving the edge to the low. They've got a really nice sort of box, but obviously you're not wearing this, but it's just quite nice to sort of see that they're making an effort and giving you that extra bit of premiumness, because obviously the price is quite high on Jordans in general. And then obviously the original one is very much in tune with Nike branding, I suppose, and Jordan branding. So it's just a black and red box. Nothing special going on here. And what I will say is with the high pair, you do get an extra pair of laces, and this comes obviously in this sort of white color, so which is a cool touch, but obviously there is a price difference there. And in terms of the sneakers, I mean, when you put them side by side, it's pretty much the same thing, right? I mean, for me, it's like one of those ones where I kind of look at them and there isn't too much difference between them. And it shouldn't be really. I think what I can notice is obviously this is a used pair that I bought off of eBay, and probably not going to be keeping because now I have the lows and I tend to wear lows more. It's just one of those things. And what I will say is off the bat is the brown on the lows are slightly on a deeper color. It might be because this is sort of started to fade, I don't know, obviously being a few years old, or it might just be that's how the color is. And I think the leather quality on the swoosh, this one's got a slightly sort of more of a textured type look to it, whilst this is more of a plainer look, which I feel might be better quality. In terms of the side panels, they kind of feel very similar, and in terms of the midsole, I'm guessing they're kind of the same color because, again, this one's aged and it's used, so it might be, that's the reason why it's slightly discolored. And then also coming towards the front, I think the toe box, I just noticed on this particular pair on the lows seems to be a bit nicer actually. So I'm kind of pushing both in, and I can sort of feel like, to me, this one feels nicer. Obviously it's fresher, but this one's got just a bit more sort of solidness to it. So you can probably see that here. It's got nice sort of indentations on this side, and it feels more sort of softer, like I said, cushiony. And the outer sort of toe box leather, the mudguard area, feels pretty much the same as well to me, so there's no difference there. And then also obviously one of the last differences is on the tongue. So you can see the tongue label. I quite like having this sort of Mocha Nike Air tag. I think it looks right with the particular sneaker because it's obviously you got the brown on the heel, whilst this one's got like a white tab on it. And Jordan brand like to do that with certain sneakers. They just kind of change it up just that little bit, just to kind of differentiate it, rather than keeping it exactly the same. And I would expect that even going forward, even like with the rookies coming out next year, for example, I'm sure they're gonna maybe do a bit of a slight switch on those. But obviously it's been a low and it's been a high. Just depends on what you kind of like wearing. But I think the majority of people like wearing high sneakers and not low sneakers. So I think for me, I'm always kind of going to be wearing lows more than highs, but it just depends on what you feel is best for you. I personally won't buy a used pair of Mochas unless you really know that it's a legit pair. I had mine authenticated by eBay, but it seemed to be good to go on that. But obviously you do have to be careful because there were a lot of fakes out there with the Mocha, and that's the reason with the highs, and that's the reason why I sort of say maybe just go with a fresh pair of lows, because if you can get them for retail, then you're getting a pretty much a legit pair. So that's my sort of thoughts on it. Hopefully that helps.